Hey guys, welcome to Tazwhole Tubecast. Now I'm here with my good friend Keith. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. It's good to be on the show.
Nice, yeah. Thank you for joining us on the show. Yes, the reason why I know he's my Keith because you know what? He was introduced to me by a good friend of mine who's actually my co-host. Yes, shout out for my friend Babble Play. Yes, he's my other co-host on my podcast. Yes, big shout outs to him. But yeah, Keith, where you? Just so my audience knows, where are you coming from?
I'm coming from SoCal. SoCal in the Huntington Beach area. You know, pretty close to the heart of animation in America.
All right. So I did as I seen as like Babble shown me, but your study of field is animation.
Yes, animation, particularly more so in 2D animation than 3D animation, although I have touched a bit into it. I like to use that more for vehicles, but my real bread and butter is definitely two-dimensional character animation.
Okay, so I know I know you, like when it comes down to a lot of it, you do a lot of the artwork yourself. But how long have you been practice with this?
It's definitely been a spotty on and off situation throughout my life, I'm going to admit. Like, there was like a time in like grade school or so where like I would, trace Japanese cartoons to make OCs and those kind of embarrassing moments. But it was really around high school where I legitimately got serious about wanting to draw, and I started to more regularly draw and look into animation.
Okay. All right. So is that like obviously in the future, like that's like right now and in the future, that's where you sit your feet right now, like with animation, you do commissions and stuff?
At current, I do not. I don't have enough of a fan base to really get the kind of attention to get those commissions and whatnot. But I definitely would like to work towards those eventually.
All right, that's cool. So, just a big question. Okay, so why'd you get into this field in the beginning? Why?
Okay, well, I will say from the very beginning, I was raised on television animation. Like, a lot of people say that they grew up on like the SNES or the NES. I really grew up on like Saturday morning cartoons and all those kinds of things, or Batman the animated series. There's a lot of good stuff that really just sucked me in. And while that's where I did foster a love for the animated medium, up until that point, it was just this mysterious thing that came to you. But it was actually the internet itself in around 2005, which is where the internet animation was probably at its biggest. I would say 2005 would be the golden age of internet animation. That's where I found sites like eBombs World and Newgrounds.com, and I realized, wait, like individual people made these cartoons.
Or I think also
people make them, and I can make them.
I found them really, really interesting. Like when I ever came across DeviantArt, I'm like, wow. When I saw like all the artwork and all the anime people are doing.
Definitely. Being introduced to like the internet-wide artists was really an eye-opener of like, wow, look at what people can make. Maybe I can make stuff too, and that really sort of got the ball rolling.
Yeah. So, what would you say would be like the most hardest part of it?
The most difficult part?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a tie, maybe cheating, but definitely starting a new cartoon is really intimidating and hard because the whole process is pretty long and arduous. So just taking those first steps of like, okay, this is what my new cartoon's going to be, you can really easily just freeze up and freak out and be like, oh geez,
it's like writer's block. Like writer's block.
Yeah, definitely. Or the blank canvas syndrome, I hear some people call it. It can be pretty daunting, and then you're like, oh, maybe I should write the script better. Oh, maybe I should re-record this dialogue so it doesn't sound so cheesy. Maybe this pose isn't good. There's a million little places to doubt yourself. But then I'd say the next thing that may even be more difficult to deal with is in the idea of continuing, because it's like you can spend months on a single cartoon. You could spend years on a single cartoon, And then when you like upload that, you like throw that up there, and like no one gives a crap. It's a little disheartening. Like, I know that an artist shouldn't be so concerned about other people. They need to like create to fulfill like their own innate need to create. I understand that, and I'm not saying I need to be famous. It is just a little heartbreaking when you put a lot of effort into something and throw it out there, and then you like see someone else, like, I'm not going to name names, but you can see some people kind of half-ass things, but they're clinging on to popular trends, and they kind of ride that coattail up, and you're like,
I can definitely understand that. It's just like, okay, I can relate, because just like this show, I'll say this, I'm helping people all across the world. If they have a passion, and if they're 19 and above, I'm helping them out by pinning them in the description. Now, I think there's a lot of big tubers out there, and there's a lot of I'll say on YouTube there's a lot of competition, because anyone can do better, anyone can get more views, anyone can get more subs. Well, you know what? I'm not concerned about the views and subs. For the fact is, I'm concerned about the people that I help, because I've already gotten about 803 guests right now in about a year and a half, and I'll say this. I put a lot of work, because I've actually, I spent a lot of hours, because I record 29 a day. And so I'm putting a lot of effort into my channel. But, even when I post stuff, and then it's after a few days, it's I have 10 views, 20 views, whatever. But I'll say this, I like it, because I don't care how many views I get, even if it's 5 views. It's still permanently up there until I take it down. But as a creator, I kind of over time I had to practice getting used to, all right, we're all, as creators in general, we're all our worst critic. And we're all perfectionists. But you gotta remember that in its own, I had this one guy, I did a tutorial, my first tutorial I did, yes guys, you can look on my channel. The first tutorial I did was on Streamlabs OBS. Now, the first comment I got 2 seconds after getting it uploaded, it was a dislike. And someone said, "Huh, come on bro, you should have had that more scripted." And I'm like, dude, I don't script anything. Now you understand this, that I'm trying to show this as I'm just an average Joe. And I've tried Streamlabs OBS, but I think people might somewhat understand it as I did. Because I'm not no technological buff or anything, but I'll say this, it's putting it out there and just sticking there. It's kind of like YouTube or social media in general. It's it's crap, you throw it at the wall and see if it sticks.
Exactly. That's
what a lot of the industry is, because the fact is, I've seen bigger people pass me, and people I've known do better than me, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Congratulate them, but you know what? I'm glad to stay where I am right now. So I'm glad with what I'm doing right now, because there's a lot of people, and very, very frankly, do I find a lot of those people sticking with, a very, very few of those people stick with what they're doing. Because I believe that after a while, they give up. And they go through that same thing. But you know what? I'm not giving up. And I'm releasing it as content and getting better and trying to learn. And I'm learning new things, and I'll say, hey, you know what? Why not? When people ask me, are you wasting your time? And I'm like, okay, why not? You know what? Tell me. I turn to those people and I say, okay, why'd you give up? Why'd you stop? Why'd you do it in the first place? That's the kicker I find. Because I'm never into making any income from this, but anything I make, I'm actually donating all of it, 100% to charity. And the fact is, I believe that Like it was never my intention in the first place. But I'll say I have an alright. I thank you guys. You know, you guys make the show better, and you also, when you do comment and you do talk a lot, when you talk to me on it, it does help me out too, guys. I really appreciate it, and I really love the support. But yeah, that's generally what I do. I can kind of relate that way.
Right.
So I'll say another stupid question. Okay, has there been a time where you got in the midst of a project and then totally out of the blue something happened and you're like, ah, screw it, this is trash now?
A little bit. I can't in recent memory remember scrapping a project because I thought it was bad. There was this one fight scene that I got pretty good through animating it. I kind of dropped it for a while thinking, I'm gonna do something with an actual story attached to it. But then of course I never really got that started. So in the last week or so I've actually gone back to just finish that up to have something to finish and put up. But the only time I really lost a project that I can remember in recent memory was when I had this animation I was working on. I wanted to make a couple of shorts based on my characters before I made full, air quote episodes.
Yeah.
To introduce the characters, and I had this thing. I've been working on it for a year now, but I was keeping it on an external hard drive because I thought my regular computer was going to die before the hard drive. Then the external hard drive died, and I lost a year's worth of animation.
That would be, oh my god, that would be,
and
I'd cry.
Yeah. And I feel so bad about it because Mr. Babel, he did some voice work for that cartoon. Another friend of mine, Dan's daughter, she also did some excellent voice work for it, and now that's not going to be used because I don't want to do a year's worth of animation to start over on something. I'd rather just move on to the next cartoon.
You rather it be genuine and just it in its own entirety, and just have it and do something, and then you guys have it. It's gonna be gold the first time. You try to redo it, it's not gonna be the same.
Right. It's I might as well just work on the next because another thing that I find that helps to keep me going is I always want to try to make sure I animate things that I want to animate and that are fun to animate, which is why, I went back to animating that fight scene, which is why I don't want to reanimate all that lost footage because I already made it. It wouldn't be fun to do it again. I want to keep pushing forward.
All right. So, do you have any words of advice for my audience out there?
To do
in general.
In general,
yeah.
I would say you will always regret what you didn't do far more than you will ever regret something that you have done. You're probably better off having that experience than just shooting down the possibility of it and being like, oh no, that'll never do good, I'll never see that. Just do it.
Yeah,
accomplish it, finish it.
What's the? I know a lot of people, they get kind of just when it comes down to streaming or doing anything on YouTube or Twitch. I'll say this: they get kind of disheartened because they're like, "Oh, I need the best equipment." No, they don't.
Nah.
They're just making up more excuses and why not to do it. Oh, I'll put it over to next week, next month, next year. No, do it. If they do it while it's still fresh in their mind, it's going to be more genuine than something. Oh yeah, I thought I was going to do this, and then I just did it, and it's like, yeah, now it's more genuine because the thought was put behind it, the drive was put behind it. But yes, thank you, Keith, for being a guest on the show, man. It's been awesome.
Oh, and thank you very much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Well, anyways, guys, that's, I'll say that's all the time we have today. But yes, that's my friend Keith. Do check him out in the description below. And you know what, guys? Hey, I'll be linking his Twitter up in the in the description. But you know what? Hey, maybe down the road, who knows? Hey, you know what? He does kick-ass animation. Come on, you gotta check this crap out. And yes, guys, you might maybe DM him maybe about commissions. I'm not sure. Maybe he might be he might be doing that later on in the future. But anyways, guys, so leave me a like because I like bacon. You like bacon. We all like bacon. Now, Peter, step the hell off because I love bacon. I'm not me without my bacon. Trust me, my girlfriend knows, and my girlfriend says, like, she knows that I'm not myself without bacon. You know what? And it's not pretty. I'm not pretty in the morning without my bacon. Come to think of it, like, don't ask her at all because you know what? She's gonna say I'm not pretty to begin with in the morning. So, anyways, guys, please hit the notification bell so you're stay up to date with all my videos. And I'll see you guys next time, guys. See you guys.